This lady won the heart of an orphaned birdling who had been left on her doorstep. Take a look at how he has changed in only a year. This tale dates all the way back to the year 2021. There on the island of Hawaii in the Pacific Central. Since tropical rainforests occupy a significant portion of the island, it is often referred to by its moniker, the Garden Isle. It's common knowledge that several plant and animal species flourish in rainforests. In addition, here on this island, the narrative centers on a particular kind of bird known as a Java sparrow. All was well in the household of Carol and her partner on a pleasant day. However, that quickly evolved. Carol's husband went to see his buddy at the neighbor's home. He and his friend were out in the garden, drinking beer and chatting with each other, when Carol's husband saw something out of the ordinary moving around in the grass. He cautiously approached it, wondering what it could be. The two were unfortunately nowhere to be seen. Thus resolved to raise the bird into a respectable adult, she brought it back to her house. However, caring for a newborn bird is no easy feat. Carol quickly learned that I needed to give him food every 2 hours from dawn until dusk. After we had taken some time to figure out what to do, she stated in an interview, then, when caring for the baby bird, the fact that we are rearing it in our home became apparent. Every day, Carol would return to her neighbor's yard in hopes of seeing the animal's original caregivers. However, as more time passed, there was nevertheless no trace of them. Carol and her partner took responsibility for Mr. Baby Snuggles, their baby bird, and continued his upbringing. The only catch was that the couple also shared their home with a rescue cat named Morris. You'll understand why cats and birds don't get along if you've ever seen the Looney Tunes. Examples are Tweety Pie and Sylvester. Carol and her husband, however, would not be deterred. Carol remarked in an interview, "We tried so hard to educate Morris that indeed the bird was not meant to be toyed with. But it turned out that the pair didn't need to worry since Mr. Snuggles adored Morris and would stay by his side whenever possible. The cat showed no aggression toward the bird, so he must have liked him too. Even more so, Mr. Snuggles. This mischievous little bird also enjoyed playing with the 2 rabbits that Carol kept as pets. She stated, he enjoys pulling their whiskers during mealtime. Since the rabbits haven't showed any hostility toward the baby bird, it's safe to assume that they didn't take this too personally. Mr. Snuggles' age increased. Soon enough, he had to learn to fly without the help of his bird parents. Carol and her partner took responsibility for instructing him in the vital skill. Ingeniously, Carol discovered that she could entice her son to practice flying by offering him a syringe of his favorite food. The small Java bird loves to fly and could usually be heard zipping about the house. Harold had a soft spot for that naughty yet adorably cute bird, but he preferred that he not be domesticated. Mr. Snuggles was raised by humans from the time he was an infant, but he imprinted on them and will never again live in the wild. Carol realized this and settled on a strategy of soft release, gradually exposing the bird to its natural environment, while still providing him with familiar surroundings. As a direct result of this, Mr. Snuggles spent the day with the humans who had rescued him, and he spent the night with his family of Java sparrows who lived in the trees nearby. Every morning, Mr. Snuggles and his new companions, a flock of almost 200 Java sparrows, depend on Carol to get up early and prepare food for them, and every evening, I do the same thing for them. The lady said that she was unable to distinguish between any of them. Despite this, both she and Mr. Jones have made it quite apparent that this is not nearly as significant of a problem as it may seem to be at first. When Carol has a pressing matter that requires Mr. Snuggles' attention, all that is asked of her is a few of mouse clicks here and there. The sound will frighten the bird and cause it to flee the area. When she sends him a message at any point during the day, he immediately perks up and responds with a few clicks to let her know he received it. Home is where the heart is for Mr. Snuggles, and he enjoys being there with his humans. They did not have a cage for the bird, and they had no intention of purchasing one since they think it is adorable that the little sparrow is following them around the home. However, after the sun goes down, the naughty bird takes off to join his flock, which is a group of around 200 birds that flies to a valley below Carol's residences in order to spend the night on the trees there. This instant marks the beginning of dawn. Carol is happy to have her reliable alarm clock, Mr. Snuggles, back in her possession once again. The moment she opens her window, the little sparrow flies to the trees outside of her home and begins to sing, which immediately wakes her up. But how did the newborn bird learn to sing if he didn't grow up with other birds of his own species? Carol would take Mr. Snuggles to YouTube and show him recordings of Java sparrows interacting and singing to one another in order to get over this problem. She was under the impression that the young bird would develop an early fondness for singing as a result of this training method. Carol added, "It took him months. He eventually worked out his tune, which is fine since he has a fantastic singing voice, but it was a struggle for him." Carol said that the connection that has taken place for all of us, both within and across species, has been astounding. Because of all of the breathtaking scenery that the Hawaiian Islands have to offer, Carol and her boyfriend feel themselves to be very privileged to call Hawaii home. It is clear that they value Mr. Snuggles' capacity to teach them new things about the natural world, and that they are grateful for this. The fantastic friendship shared by Carolyn and Mr. Snuggles is evidence that despite our diverse histories, geographic locations, and species, we are all capable of finding areas of agreement and cooperating with one another when necessary. What a heartwarming little story. Leave a comment telling me what you think of the video. Also, hit that like button and add me to your subs for more incredible clips.